Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we've got another early sample to build and share with you guys here. This one is of the Fire Lord here from SNAA, but this is the new version, the Particle Awakening Armament version, where I think the main difference is just going to be in the effect parts. In the original version of the Fire Lord, if any of you guys have built that or seen about that one, it has like all the clear parts are like a teal blue kind of color. This time they're a darker blue and kind of a purplish pink kind of color. It's like a two-tone for the clear parts, so it looks really, really cool. I didn't build the original one, but I'm looking forward to building this one for sure. It looks really cool. And after now building a couple of the smaller SNAA kits, the Knights of the Round Table kits, really looking forward to building another one of the large ones, just because I haven't built one since the Martial Emperor, which it's been a little while, and this one's like very different style, and I think they've even come a long way since that one as well. So I'm expecting some very good things from this guy. Let's go ahead and check out the box and the contents first, and then we'll get into the kit. Let's go. And so for the outside of the box here, we got some beautiful artwork showcasing what the design is going to look like. There's kind of a closer up image and then a full image over here on this side. You can see all those really cool clear effect parts. Nice, big, very shiny box here. Is going to be about the same thing there on the top and on the ends of the box there like that. On the back side, however, we do have some other images of the kit here in some different poses, showing some of the different weaponry and posing options that you've got here with this. Looks really cool. And then similarly here on the bottom of the box, again, you can see what the built, and I'm not sure if it's built and painted, but at least it's got the decals on there as well. So of course we're gonna have some waterside decals included. Let's go ahead and open this up and check out all this cool stuff inside. Right off the bat there, you'll see some of our clear parts in that blue and purple. We've got some silver plated parts and a lot of really cool stuff. We'll get to all the runners in just a moment. I want to find our other stuff in here first. So a nice big sheet of waterside decals here, and it looks like they're going to be in blue and purple to match. So there you go. It's like a purplish pink and blue, and then a dark gray and white. So a bunch of different colors we have here for the markings. As you can see, mostly going to be these kind of like lining accent parts that are going to go around on the edges of the armor, stuff like that. You got like a little bit of caution, but not a whole lot of like your sort of generic caution markings. If you wanted those type of decals on this, I think you could just use whatever, like HIQ or Mecha decals or whatever. As for the manual here, we've got that same box art on the front. On the back side, again, just kind of the same stuff we saw around on the outside of the box, just a bunch of different sample poses and stuff. Here on the inside is going to be our parts list right there. And we're right off into the construction. So all the construction is going to be here in black and white, it looks like, but there are little bits highlighted in color for you just to make sure like pay attention to the order of where the parts are going in. So I really like that. It's very nicely designed. I wish everything was in full color, but considering this kit in particular is not really the most colorful, it's like gray, silver, white, it really wouldn't be all that different. But having these little bits highlighted for you just makes it that much more like, especially beginner friendly. So maybe if you hadn't really necessarily built anything quite this large, quite this complex, I think having little hints like that in there for you just kind of makes it that much easier, especially for beginners, to just make sure that you're not going to put anything together wrong. But after all the construction of everything and then the weapons here at the end, let's see if there's anything else too much here at the back. How to put on all the effect parts and everything. And then at the very end, there's going to be our decal guide. So this is in full color here for the reference images, for the decals go. And with that, I think we can check out the runners. All right, to start off, we've got our display base. So not exactly a runner, but this big plate here in white with some nice detail there on the top, fairly simple. And then the parts here on runner Z1 is going to be for the arm of the display base. Again, that should work pretty nicely. It looks pretty substantial too. The A runner here in a light gray color looks like mostly parts for around on the inner frame. And then runners B, C, D, E, F, and G are all here in kind of medium gray color parts for the inner frame. And as you can see, a lot of really nice detail here on some of the parts of the frame. Now, obviously just on areas of the frame where it's going to show, obviously different areas where it's not going to show, there's less detail around, but you can see there's definitely going to be a lot of nice detail with this one. Runner C, we have two of there. Looks like a bunch of parts for in probably the shoulders, the legs. Runner D here, some parts there obviously for the shield and some other bits on there. Runner E, we also have two of here. Some more of our mechanical frame parts, and then runners F and G are just single runners. There's runner F and runner G there as so. Now for all of our white parts, runners H, I, J, and K. Runner H here is the first of our white runners here. There's some parts for the head, and some other recognizable bits on there. Runner I we have two of. You can see there's some hand covers there, it looks like, so we're gonna have swappable hands. Runner J, we also have 2 of, some larger pieces on there and parts for like the sword hilts as well. Gives us a good idea of how big this is gonna be. It's gonna be quite large. And then runner K here, again, everything looking really, really nice. Now we're getting into some of our plated runners. Here is runners M and N are going to be here in this really nice plated gold. This looks like the same color plated gold that we've seen on some of the Knights of the Round Table kits, the smaller ones. It looks like a very similar color. Runner Q is interesting. This is also in like a plated silver, but it's a little bit darker silver, like a plated dark silver or gunmetal kind of color. It looks really, really nice. And then compare that with runners S and T, which are also plated, but whereas runner Q is darker, runners S and T are in a lighter plated silver, and they have this sort of like rainbow iridescence to them. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but hopefully you can see that pretty well on camera. So the coating on these parts looks really, really cool there, and especially paired with the darker silver that we had with runner Q. I think these are going to look really nice on the kit. And now we're getting into our clear parts. So here's runner W. We've got in both clear purple and in clear blue here for the first set. Runner X, the same story here. We've got one in that kind of pinkish purple kind of color there, and then one in blue. Runner Y, we only have one of here in just blue only. So for some of these, this is like the cape effect part, and I think effect parts there for the sword or lance kind of weapon there. Those are only going to be in blue. But then runner Z is those runners that we saw right on the top as soon as we opened up the box here. This one, of course, in blue and pinkish purple as well. Lastly then, and sort of anticlimactic here, another runner Z. This is just our hand parts. So the hand parts here in the same medium gray like we saw for the rest of the frame, but it's just, as I said, going to be swappable hands, and it looks like we're going to have open expressive hands, which look really nice, closed fists, and maybe a couple different types of weapon holding hands there. So some nice hand options, and I'm a big fan of swappable hands, so this is definitely my preference, and they look really, really nice. So there we go. All right, so there we go, guys. This is a big kit with a whole bunch of stuff in there, so I'm going to actually separate the unboxing just as a standalone video. We'll come back and do the review as a separate video. I will be live building this over on the USA Gundam TV YouTube channel, so if you guys haven't seen, if you're not subscribed over there, subscribe to that channel as well. I've been doing some live builds over on that channel now, especially for some of the original mecha models, stuff like this, and stuff that we're getting as like early samples here for me to build and review. So subscribe over there, make sure that you have your alerts turned on so that you don't miss the live build of this if you want to see it. If you're watching this later on, you can go back and watch the playback of the live build, of course, but I'll have the review coming up for you guys as soon as I can. In the meantime, thanks for checking out the unboxing. If you want to check out the kit for yourself, at the moment, still available for pre-order on usagundamstore.com. You can check that out in the video description down below. And thanks for watching, everybody. Hope that you're just as excited about this kit as I am. I'm really looking forward to getting this all built up. So thanks for checking out the video. I'm going to go get to work on this. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.